There's people that are just starting to watch. This is even a thing that's really fucking weird to me. But it's hard to know. I've never seen this on TV, on the internet, all this shit. So it's just all in my head. Sometimes it's hard. I know the people are real, but the contact and how you can see stuff is still odd to me. It's all imagination or faith that you guys can see this. But with my emails, I was sending myself tons of emails since 2016 with all kinds of research and all kinds of issues and all kinds of what's been going on. It's been defined, and it just keeps spreading. It's snowballed. Everywhere I looked, that made it 15 more questions, and I had to keep looking. It was for safety for me and Crush. But, God, I have circles in my eyes today. Bad ones. But there was, I put a lot in drafts after I sent them. I'd hide them in drafts, basically. But what was crazy was they actually were using my ashleecrush@gmail.com for all their dirt while I was married to Joe. And I was so beat down, not physically, but mentally and psychological, with the psychological abuse, that I wasn't answering emails. I wasn't even looking at them. I wasn't answering phone calls because everything was connected. There was connections happening in my head, and I wasn't handling my business, my bills, shit anymore. I just was completely in a ball. And then when I left Joe, same thing. I didn't get on the internet for years because I was afraid of them. And my emails, I shut my Ashlee Crush down in 2016, September 2016. Completely, I downloaded it to, I think, Ashgilla, all the files, and then I shut it down. And there should be no more access to that email. However, there is. But what I do know is they were using ashleecrush@gmail.com for all their dirt. I saw some of it, but what they were doing was writing drafts. And everybody had my login, my password. And they would read the drafts and then delete it or whatever, move on. But they were doing that a fuck ton. And it was really, really scary to me. But I had changed my password. I always had the same passwords my whole life, my same phone number, very basic, very basic interneting for me. And Joe had all my passwords the whole time. I didn't care. What am I doing? I'm not doing anything wrong. You can have everything. So he had all my passwords, which was Turtle921, which was Crush and his birthday, his nickname. And it was just it was my password for everything, including my bank, including everything. That's why I don't do online banking at all. I refuse. I haven't since 2016. I'm terrified of it. I'm terrified to deal with my money or to deal with anything when I had it, because I was afraid I would see him in it, not him personally, but traces of his dirt, and that it would send me into a tizzy because I was really afraid of him. But he would send the drafts. They would do drafts, and so I changed my email or my password so much in 2016, at the beginning in May, and maybe at the end of May I was done. I changed my password so much, I didn't know what my password was anymore. But when I was in the mental hospital at Riaz in August 2016, there was a girl there, and not when I was there, but I had went on to the patient computers, and I looked in the Google history because I was researching like a motherfucker. And I looked in the Google history, and I saw that a girl was in there a week before I ever got admitted. She was on my email. It was ashleecrush@gmail.com. I have pictures of it. And she was basically recovering the password and going in there, reading the draft, and then shutting the email down. And I can't imagine the amount of people that had my password and shit to that and were involved in that game. But she was actually looking at my email in a mental hospital from the patient computers at least a week before I ever got admitted to that fucking mental hospital. And she was on it every day. I saw my email address. It was ashleecrush@gmail.com. Nobody else has that fucking email address. It's me and my son. Nobody else has that fucking email address. and you can't fucking change my mind on it. She was in there a week before I was ever admitted on my email every fucking day. So it goes to show me that she was planted there to fuck with me. And her name's Silly. And I thought we've connected a little bit this way. I sent her emails for a long time afterward. Every once in a while, I'd send her an email and I'd say, hey, how do you know Joe Gill? And I never got a response from her. I was hoping that we connected this way and that she was fighting for the good. And I was hoping, I thought that we've talked through this and that she's actually good, that she wasn't good for me then. But since then, we realized that we were fighting for the same thing. And I had researched her a bunch online. And just seeing who's in my email, what the fuck's going on. Her name was Silly Esquivel. She was in a Batman shirt that I have a picture of her online. But where I thought that she might have some coolness and might have gotten got by these assholes was when she was researching my email and reading it. She also researched E.T. and unicorns and like cool shit that could have like been related to me and like mystic shit basically. And then I saw on her Facebook page she had a lot of art and quotes that were like normal girl stuff. And so I was really hopeful that she was actually fighting for the good in this. And I thought we had connected this way